peoples of the worldwide federated internet. What's good? So, I'm coming back to you again. There is something that keeps coming up that I keep hearing people say and repeat, and I want people to stop because it is not historically accurate. I keep hearing people make reference to Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution, and I keep hearing people say blacks are considered 3/5 of a person. That is not what the U.S. Constitution says. Now, let me give some clarity to my thought before people assume I'm justifying something that was morally reprehensible. This is a blot on our history as a country. It happened. It is what it is. It is in the past. But so many people, when going over this portion of history, keep perpetuating this lie that nobody can actually see the truth. See, here's the problem with the way people view history and see history now. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging some things we had wrong in the United States. Nothing wrong with that at all. But the problem is people embellish the truth and say things that is simply not true. So this is really going to be real quick, and I'm going to deal with this. Let's get to the U.S. Constitution. U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed 3/5 of all other persons. The actual enumerations shall be made within 3 years after the first meeting of the Congress of the United States, and within every subsequent term of 10 years, in such manner as they shall by law direct. The number of representatives shall not exceed one for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least one representative, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to choose 3, Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence Plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, Georgia 3. Now, if you were listening to that, if you understand English, it says excluding Indians not taxed, right? 3/5 of all other persons. What that means, and it's a shame that this has to be explained, if you had 5 slaves, only 3 of them could be counted. That does not mean that a slave only counted as 3/5 of a person. That is not what that means. And to sell this way, it's really to slaughter the U.S. Constitution. Now, again, this was morally reprehensible. It should have never been. Look into the history. You'll get the backstory of the compromise and why this was done this way. The founding fathers did what they had to do to get by to form the union. You can agree, you can disagree, you can have your qualms and your problems with why they did it that way. And I'm not saying your arguments are not valid and not warranted, but the one thing I will say is this constant barrage of people saying that black people only counted as 3/5 of a person is not true. I'm going to read the sentence again just so you get it. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union according to their respective numbers. So this is how the representatives are determined by the population, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years and excluding Indians not taxed. So they were excluded. They couldn't be counted in a number. And 3/5 of all other persons. That was the slaves. The reason for this is the southern states didn't want to recognize their slaves as people, but they wanted to count their slaves toward representation. And there was dispute between southern and northern states. And the compromise was they would only count 3/5 of their slave population. This is simple. It is plain English and it's in the U.S. Constitution. And people keep perpetuating this thing. And it's really annoying. Again, this is not to justify what was done here. This is not to justify this compromise. But man, we really just got to get to the Constitution and just stop quoting people, assuming that what we're being told is right. Y'all know what it is. Stay frosty, people.